Okay, y'all, here's my review. Okay, so based off of what scores you're getting will kind of determine where you want to be on this review, okay? Now, if you're getting 9 10s to 9 20s, that means that you're having real bad problems with the very beginning material, okay? And that means that you're going to need to know how to be adding up fractions, subtracting fractions. We need to work on just simple percentages. You're going to want to focus around that. And then that definitely means that you're missing all those, hey, it's 5x plus 7 equals 12, solve for x. You're missing those, so you're going to want to focus right here as well, okay? Now, when you focus in those three areas, if you're getting like a 910 to a 920, if you focus on those three areas, 1.1, 1.2, and 2.1, I think you're going to see a jump up to about the 120s. Now, if you're in the 120s and you're wondering, okay, what do I need to be focusing on? You need to be focusing, don't skip these things, okay? I have seen some students that aren't good at percentages, and then, they're scoring like 930s, but it's because they're missing percentages. And I teach them percentages, and their scores just skyrocket, So don't skip any of these things unless you know that you're doing well at them. What I would highly suggest to do is go in, start answering some of them. Like if you look at this and you go, oh, I don't need to do percentages. Come in here, answer a couple of the word problems. Okay, because what I try to do on a lot of these worksheets is I started off with a basic way. This is not how the TSI exam is going to ask it. They're going to ask it in word form, like a word problem. Answer some of these word problems. See if you get them right. You have the solutions, okay? Check if you get them right. If you do, that means you're doing it right. So maybe you don't need to watch the video. Maybe you don't need to do the entire worksheet. But I would suggest double checking yourself and making sure that you're getting them right. Because what I'll also see is a lot of students are saying, oh, I see a lot of those, ratio problems, but I know I'm doing them right. Like they'll show me similar triangles, and I know I'm getting those right. And I'll be like, okay, set me one up. Let's see it. And, they'll end up doing it wrong on the first step. So then I have to start going in with those ratios and proportions with them. And so we really got to find out what the vulnerabilities are of some of the students, because sometimes they don't know what they do or do not know, Okay, so if you're getting like a 920, let's say, then I would suggest now you need to start going into all 5 of these, okay? If you're getting a 920, you need to be studying all 5 of those. And then that'll bump you up to like a 930, maybe even a 940. Now, if you're in the 930s or 940s, that you're so close to that 950, that's probably you're gonna be lacking on one of these skills that's in here, okay? One of those skills, maybe 2 of those skills. But that's what I've traditionally seen with my students. So if you're getting that 930, 940, you probably know this sort of stuff. You probably know those first 5, but you're probably lacking on some of the skills in these second 5. Okay, so that's how I would decide where you're going to start. Is if you've taken the TSI already, based off of what score you got, you can kind of start looking at this is kind of like the earlier stuff. This is the more difficult stuff that you'd see. And if you want to talk about what I've seen my students really do giant jumps on after that we review, I will tell you the biggest things that I see the largest jumps on. So this is what I'm assuming the test probably has the most percentage of type of questions, is going to be ratios and proportions. I see that a lot. Like after I teach that, they start doing well. Mean, median, and mode range. That one's a big one. Area is usually a big one, and then percentages. So those are about the 4 ones that I see the biggest in, okay? And yeah, so after you master these 10 things though, you really should be getting probably, or if you mastered them, you should probably be getting in the 970s, okay? But, some of the students that, don't understand them all perfectly, it'll get them to the 950 and above, okay? And then I will be putting together, if I sell enough of these, I'll be putting together a complete review, which will go over everything, trying to get people to like a 990. So y'all have a great day. I hope the review helps you, and adios.